This podcast is presented by the Prince George's County Memorial Library System.
Hi, I'm Hawa.
I'm Maria.
I'm Heather.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm Darlene.
And this is our podcast, These Books Made Me. Today we're going to be talking about Twilight by Stephenie Meyer. Friendly warning as always, this podcast contains spoilers. If you don't yet know who is unconditionally and irrevocably in love with a 104-year-old man, proceed with caution.
So we mentioned the protective or like why some girls were attracted to Edward. But Darlene mentioned something that I'd forgotten to mention was the money, how wealthy they were.
Oh, yeah.
And that ended up being such a huge part of like the fan fiction and the fan fiction that was published, that the Edward in all of these fan fictions or published works was always wealthy. He's always rich. Like he always has to be the wealthy person. Like the Bella character is never wealthy. She's just like ditzy. And I feel like this just like become...
It's not even his money. It's all from his dad's 100 years of being a doctor.
Which I thought would have been interesting.
Edward doesn't even have a job.
No.
His skills
He's
are
kind of a
piano,
deadbeat now that I think about it.
doing biology labs, negging teenage girls,
Which
driving
is another
really
thing.
fast.
Yeah,
His
that like
Volvo.
His shiny Volvo.
Yeah.
Well, remember they're supposed to be kind of like under the radar.
Yeah.
So like only Rosalie's driving her fancy cherry red BMW, like her ostentatious car. But I always thought that was interesting. And now that you mentioned it, actually, like if they're always matriculating, why don't we hear about their college degrees? Did they ever
Exactly.
work?
Like,
I think
why don't
sometimes
they just go to
do.
college?
Yeah. I think sometimes they do, but I think he says that they sometimes like to just start in high school because they can stay in one place
For a longer time.
I'd rather my college
But
degree.
again, they're totally implausible as like 14-year-olds. So like you'd still have to start kind of late in high school or people would...
Yeah.
And also, what documents are they using? There's an age on something.
They just wear makeup to cover up the sparkles. Like there's you have makeup
Why?
that cover up tattoos. Like you got a makeup that like dampens the sparkle effect.
It's too iridescent. It's too much.
So the sparkles, it's too dazzling.
That's a lot of common
too
sense, Hannah.
dazzling.
They would have loved COVID, though.
We're masking forever. We're wearing baseball caps down like this.
Full-on balaclavas everywhere. But in the sun.
Yeah.
Did you have something?
Oh, I was going to say, going back to the conversation about like their relationships, though, it kind of reminded me, like this central love story kind of reminded me of the conversation people are having around like trad wives. And the romanticizing of it on TikTok. Like I think about that and I wonder like contextually like how it fit in. Did we say it was 2005 that it was made? Like what things were then and like what space it had in pop culture around that time, because I think, you know, certain things don't seem so bad or don't really speak of a culture unless like there's context around it. I don't know if anyone kind of remembers that era and just like kind of where we were as a society. Because
That was like around Sisterhood, wasn't it? Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants? Because
I think Sisterhood was a little earlier.
A little earlier. I mean, I just remember like 2003, 4, 5 was when like all the 16-year-old celebrities were like dating, like, or like Hilary Duff was dating, who was it?
Oh, like older men.
Band.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Good Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
And there's
He
like
was like 23 or something?
yeah, the huge age gaps between like, that's what I remember of like relationships and always wanting someone older. But so I don't know, actually, yeah.
But just I mean, I guess the context could just be the Mormonism in it and just like, yeah. Because I know that people bring up all the time, like the whole like chastity thing and like needing to get married before.
So I think there was that because that was, I mean, there was sort of the Jessica Simpson purity culture.
Yeah, that's true.
Wearing the like promise rings.
The Jonas Brothers too, around that time started wearing it, yeah.
So maybe.
Yeah.
Though it's really hard to read this as like any kind of argument for purity culture or anything when dudes like sneaking into your room. But like, yeah, I mean, and I think that is inextricably tied into Mormonism. Though, yeah, I mean, evangelical purity culture and then Mormon purity culture. So, I mean, there's also some underlying racism, I think, about Jacob and Billy and their tribe. Yeah. It's certainly not like overt, because I think that it is presented as like, hey, these are the only people that get what's going on here. But it's that trope of the magical Native American and like, ooh, they're so mystical and you know, which is reductive and weird. And
we don't see a lot of them in this book, which is, I had forgotten that, because one thing I was trying to be mindful of going in was how they were depicted, because I had heard about the harmful stereotypes, but I didn't see a lot of that in this book because we barely see Jacob in this book. I feel like we get more of Jacob in the first movie than we actually do in the book, because I feel like we meet Jacob earlier in the movie than we actually do in the book.
Yeah, well, I mean, like in the movie, Jacob and Billy come together for the truck, but the truck's already there in the book. But yeah, I guess
she meets him at the beach.
Oh,
at the book.
There's also a couple times where she points out like Edward's like white hands, and I'm just like, isn't everybody's hands white? Like I get
your hands are white.
I guess he's pale, and I guess that's the point she was trying to like. There was distinct whiteness as opposed to like.
His hands would look really weird.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, assuming he didn't like use black nail polish or something on his nails, which maybe he did, you know, maybe he was in, that was of the time, you know, whatever. But if he didn't, bloodless nails would look like his hands would just look like dead.
Maybe
that would be horrifying.
Maybe they did manicures with like some sort of like pink to make it
just had like a nice French. French pink and white, and he's just looking great.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, I don't know how y'all feel about the writing in this book, but because I feel like she could have described that better, you know, like maybe something more vivid that would have, The
writing is not good, and I feel like we just get kind of the same, like, thesaurus words over and over.
It felt very thesaurus-y. Like, she went and was like let me find a synonym. Quickly.
No, and I think, like, I mean, we mentioned the legacy of Twilight, but kind of, like, circling back to, like, Indigenous representation. Like, all of there's been so many, like, mini documentaries and full-scale documentaries about what happened with the Quilliwet reservation and how a lot of them didn't see money, or they've been like very polluted. There's been like trash everywhere because everyone's leaving.
Exactly. That's amazing.
Yeah. And I was actually talking to my friend because she married someone who is from Oregon, and they went to Forks. And Forks is like and you guys can remove this because I don't want to trash Forks, but apparently Forks is like very poor area, like insanely poor. And I remember in the book, it mentions like Bella's really old, crappy, beat-up truck is the nicest car on the lot. In the movie, they made hers the crappiest one, but like everyone's like,
honestly,
but even so, in the movie, like we were struck by how many old cars there were.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, does make
her truck looks real bad, but it makes the
Rosalie's
BMW.
But Rosalie's BMW, like I can see now why he would be upset. Like, come on now, like that looks so bad. Like a Volvo, okay, like it's on the upper end, but like a BMW, like I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a tricky part. I mean, like the tourism apparently has gone very well with the town of Forks, but it's kind of like a mix with like the reservation. So it's kind of like, it's unfortunate. And I know a lot of them mentioned in some documentaries or even in interviews that because of it, there's been awareness to what is happening with like the environment, and that I think Obama in 2008 had like provided them with some funding, I think, or something like that. I can't remember. It's in one of the sources. But I don't know. I guess it's like a bit of a mixed bag. But even like the movie itself had its own controversies, which we mentioned earlier with like a lot of the two actors who played Sam and Embry refused to cut their hair for the next movie. So I don't know. It's a little touch and go because I mean Stephenie never apparently spoke to anyone from the reservation. So
and Taylor Lautner's not like
He said that he was,
Native
like,
American descent.
way back or something. Yeah, I mean, I
Like
don't.
he doesn't have tribal affiliation.
It's not a part of his life now in any
Which I like Taylor Lautner.
meaningful way.
No shade to him. I think he did fine in the role, but there certainly were Native actors that they could have auditioned for the role. Like if they had wanted to do anything, I don't know. And like tourism does not pull a place out of poverty.
Yeah.
Right? Like the people that make money off of tourism typically are not people that live in the town. It's people who own hotel franchises. It's things like that. Does it create service sector jobs for people in the town? Sure, maybe, but those are often low-wage jobs. So, like, yeah, town next to a res, the tourism dollars aren't even going to, like, help it very much in terms of, like, the actual people who live there, I wouldn't think.
And is Twilight tourism something that's going to create lasting revenue even for what that is? I kind of doubt it.
This is not like Anne of Green Gables' effect on Prince Edward Island, right? Like, this would be a very different subset of tourists, I would think.
Yeah, because I think some tourists stumbled upon like a sacred tribal dance and tried to record. So I think it's just like not knowing.
More harm than good, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I'm reading this article, actually it's a USA Today article that came out like a week ago, actually. It's called "What Did Twilight Get Wrong? Readers Grapple with Not So Sparkly Legacy." And it's actually one of my mutuals on my Instagram account. She was quoted in the article. She is, let me see, where did it say? It says, Naomi Darling, an Ojibwe content creator who runs the Binary Publishing imprint, says she didn't grow up interested in Twilight, and when her followers used her takes on Indigenous representation in books, asked her to give the series a try. She barely made it through the first book, and they said that Meyer is not the first nor last white author to misrepresent Indigenous culture and literature. And she says when you have writers who write outside the culture, they're not familiar with the cultural norms, and the people who aren't from that culture will read it, so that it's going to be their only experience with Indigenous people, so they have no way of telling if that's an accurate representation. And then she gives a list of books that she recommends reading by Indigenous authors instead, like Love is a War Song by Danica Nava, Buffalo Hunter Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones, and Looking for Smoke by K.A. Coble. And someone else is also quoted as saying that Charlie Scott, a content creator from the Navajo Nation, said that they loved the saga growing up, but they have since re-examined their relationship to the series over the portrayal, saying that it reduces Indigenous peoples as being animalistic, as being savages. The way Meyer tried to justify it too, that they were just spiritual warriors trying to protect their territory, also leans into the, like you were saying, the mysticism of Indigenous peoples. And then I think Meyer has been notably silent about the backlash. Her representatives didn't respond for comment. And it also says that Twilight, there are some Twilight fans who like regularly donate to the tribe's Move to Higher Ground fundraiser, and that they reached out to the Quileute tribe for a request for an interview, but they said that they don't respond to interviews related to the Twilight series, which I don't blame them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they don't get paid for the 8 million interviews that are requested.
They probably get asked all the time about it. They're probably very tired.
Yeah. No, I just felt like her depiction of it was very like, you know, those like throw blankets that have like the wolf and the like, you know, and the trees and stuff. It's that instead of like an Indigenous art, you know, it's like some white person's interpretation of what is cool about this culture that isn't connected to their culture at all. It's just this kind of generic, like, what do you think of when you think of Native Americans? Wolves.
Yeah. And, you know, somebody could say, oh, well, it was like 2005. Like, she probably didn't know any better. But I just feel like you probably still should do some kind of research when writing about people that you don't. Or especially if you're actually basing it off of, like,
real people. Yeah.
Which probably, like you said earlier, probably wouldn't have been better if she didn't base it off of real people. But, like.
And she's had a lot of time to reflect on it. And respond and maybe say, you know, I could have done better.
Which I think the silence speaks volumes.
Well, and she continued to write, like,
and the fact that she's
you go,
and the fact that she's like trying to bring up, or I think she's trying to like write a book about Jacob and Renesmee.
Oh God,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, because she did hint at that, right?
Yeah,
is that what she announced?
Hinting at that, and I think
it didn't announce. She announced something. No, that's what I was waiting to see, but no, it didn't announce.
But like. I think she had hinted that that's something like that people wanted and maybe that she might write. So I'm not saying that she's going to write it, but just the fact that she's willing to revisit like that character again and possibly that lore again. It's like, yeah, did she really learn her lesson? Like, did she really hear the conversation?
No. Well, no. Instead, she gave us native Amazonian vampires. Like, I don't know if you remember. That's what she did instead. In the end, like, the final book, she gave us Amazonian vampires. It's like...
Yeah.
Thank you, Stephenie Meyer, for your commitment to this. No, but for real.
You know, she's written gender-swapped versions. She's written a version from Edward's point of view. She's clearly thought about this series a lot since then, but she's very focused on certain aspects of it and not looking at other parts of it.
What even is the theme of this book?
Yeah.
Because I got to the end and I was like, okay, it's not really a romance.
I don't know. Like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to take away from this book. It is, I don't know, one of you brought up music videos. It's that. Like, it's just, you just kind of watch it with like, that's pretty. And then you just keep it moving. Like, there's not substance there. It's just...
This was, I guess, I feel like this was a really, I use the word good very loosely, like a good setup, I guess, for like the rest of the series. But like, also, there wasn't enough in this book, I feel like, to make me, at this big age, interested in the rest of the series. Yeah. But somehow, I guess the movie made it a little better because clearly I went and read all the books. But...
I think they tried with the morality thing, but it doesn't make any sense because I feel like that was just for the central conflict of it all. Like, this is why Edward and her can't be together. And like, they try to talk about like humanity and stuff. But again, like everything she does is just very shallow. Like she'll dip into it and be like, oh, like I want to use this as a way to like create conflict between them. But like, I'm not actually going to explore this. Or if I do explore it, like she ends up just making Bella a vampire.
Yeah, I just noticed Hawa's books again, and I remember how the covers were so significant as well, and they were like, each cover tells a story. So, like, Twilight was supposed to be temptation.
Right.
With, like, the
apple. Adam and Eve apple.
Yeah, exactly.
Verse.
Yeah, and it goes on and on. New Moon had something to do with that flower. Eclipse, the ribbon breaking was, I think, Edward versus Jacob. And then the Breaking Dawn was, I think, a Volturi kind of nod.
Supposedly supposed to represent Catholics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, which is that's I had forgotten about that.
I mean, at least that sounds more sophisticated than anything that happens in the first book. I mean, are we meant to believe that like Adam and Eve, Bella is the bad guy here? She is tempting Edward, away from his moral position of, I don't eat people. I don't have a need to eat people. I don't want to eat people. I want to eat you. Like, because I don't think it's an inversion of the Adam and Eve.
I thought he was tempting her.
With immortality? Because she doesn't even really want immortality. She just wants
to be with him forever.
Yeah. She wants immortality later.
Yeah.
But like in this one,
like in book one,
in this one, I swear too, like she wants to be immortal.
Oh, by the end, yeah.
Yeah, and then I want to say it's in the next book, like when she like has a birthday, she's like really weird about it, and she's like, I'm just getting older than, like I'm now physically older than you. Because I'm now 18 and you died at 17. Yeah, no, like they make age like such a really big thing. And like, again, a character that seemed to never really care about aging just yet, but now all of a sudden is obsessed with the idea of aging, which is not great either. Because I'm like, of all the things to like teach teenage girls, like the fear of aging should not be one of them.
Which in that case, the only voice of reason was Jacob. He's like, what is it with you in aging?
But who goes on to imprint on a child.
Yeah. That's true.
Like a literal child.
Edward did say like, it was so weird. This was never going to work out. But Edward was like, I'd rather you just like, we just be together and you just turn old. Like that, like I'd be okay with that. But I don't want you to just be immortal because he his own feelings about But it's not great. Whatever themes it does have, they're not great.
I think something that I found interesting after like all the Twilight books was, I don't know if anyone's read A Discovery of Witches. So it's just like by Deborah Harkness, and she kind of wrote, so basically we've got witches, we've got demons, and we've got vampires. And to me, it reads straight up like Twilight fan fiction, even though she's never like confirmed it. But we've got Diana Bishop, who's a witch, but refuses to be a witch. And she's in her like early 30s and then late 20s. And then Matthew de Claremont is a vampire and he's in his late 30s. And it's the same thing, but it's like, even though they're both adults, and I do like the writing because it's from like, she's got a history background and it's set in Oxford and it's really nice, but there's still so much toxicity with like Matthew, who's the vampire. He's just like, no, you have to give in. I'm the, man of the family, but he's just like basically like the one in charge of the coven or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I kind of wish that some of the fictions that would come out would kind of leave the toxicity out of it.
But that's why I feel like I actually like Nosferatu, because I feel like it did make him like an evil character, like a bad character, and like a temptation, and I think like talked about kind of like the consent of it all, and then also like the age difference of it all, and how like I guess at some point she calls for him without really knowing that she's calling for him, but she's like a child when she does so.
You're talking about the recent film.
Sorry, the recent film, yeah.
Just making sure, because there's been a ton of versions of Nosferatu.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, and then kind of like her having to contend with those consequences even as an adult for like something that she like did as a child, and even then like not actively. Yeah. See, I feel like I enjoy like monster or like horror when it's like trying to say something.
When it's executed.
Yeah, well, but if it's just used as like a prop for like a romance, then it just falls a little bit.
I agree with that.
Also, when the characters aren't like super annoying main teenagers.
I mean, I think you could argue that the characterization of, what's his name, Count Orlok or something well, you could argue to some extent of all of the versions of Nosferatu, but especially the one that just came out, he's very much the anti-Edward Cullen type vampire. He is
grotesque.
He's grotesque. He looks like a rotting corpse.
Yeah. Oh my God.
There is nothing attractive about him except that he's kind of got this heavy charisma and he takes up the screen and you're fascinated by him, but there's absolutely nothing romantically attractive about him,
but
except maybe in a capital R story way, but that's a stretch.
Yeah. And it feels like disconcerting that's like that he is so alluring and not in a way like that it's treated here where it's kind of like there's something like positive about it because it's like charming.
Like there's that bit where we do we
like
do
basically
spoilers
the
for
way the way that Edward wants her to react to him a lot of the times or like thinks she should be reacting to him is like I think how as an audience you do react to Count Orlok in Nosferatu.
Yeah, like we see him in his coffin like looking like a rotting corpse at least once. He looks like he smells terrible.
Yeah. Oh no, like that ending sex scene. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's horrific.
Yeah. I'm sure we're talking it up so well.
No, it's on my list. I haven't seen it yet. That one and Sinners. I haven't seen them yet.
It's good. And I recommend if you are up for it to maybe see some piece of like the earlier Nosferatu films, or at least like read about them or watch some clips, because I think there's some really interesting like the original one is like maybe hard to watch in the sense that like there's like dialogue cards. But there was also there was an interesting, I think it was made in 2000, like there was like the making of Nosferatu that has like Willem Dafoe playing the vampire, and the shtick is that they hired a real vampire to play, and he kept like eating the he's like, don't eat the cameraman, eat the makeup girl. There's a lot of like,
and then the makeup gets bad or something.
I'm gonna fall down a rabbit hole of like vampire content at this point. Like, so I recently started my rewatch of Interview with the Vampire, the AMC Plus show.
I see from your shirt.
Yeah, I'm wearing my. I had no Twilight gear, so I'm wearing my Louis Dupont de Lac shirt.
It's a good show.
It is. I love it so much. This is my. I rarely rewatch television, but this is my second rewatch because I just keep seeing my my Twitter feed is just filled with people who have watched the show and content from like San Diego Comic Con and New York Comic Con with Sam Reed and Jacob Anderson, and interviews and clips from trailers for the Vampire Lestat and all that. So I think I'll eventually also probably go back and maybe watch the movie because I've never seen the movie. I have the first book. Don't know if I'm actually going to read it.
It's worth a read. Anne Rice is fun.
Both of your faces.
I think I read all of her vampire books growing up. I'm a little embarrassed to say. Actually, I'm not. I feel
she's
no
a better
shame.
writer than Stephenie Meyer is.
She
I mean,
is.
she's still. It's a lot, but it's better.
Yeah, there's a lot to be absorbed in there, and I think there if you were a certain type of reader at a certain time, like Anne Rice's vampire series did a lot for us.
Us. I love that she's like she claimed that it's okay. Yes, I love that.
And I think the movie is worth watching. I think in a lot of ways the show is a better adaptation, but
That's what I've heard.
The movie is worth seeing. I think.
I'm gonna give it a try. It's the fall season, you know, after I make my way through all these Twilight movies, because I'm damn sure not reading the rest of these books. Actually might be giving these away after this episode. I got them for like $1 each. They're actually in pretty good condition considering.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of yellowed on the edges, but
Other than that, they look great.
yeah, you know,
It's an aged quality.
Yeah.
almost as old as Edward.
There you go.
Is there any other topic we needed to bring up?
Were you guys team? Well, this doesn't really happen in the first book, but were you guys? I feel like we don't get enough of Jacob in this book. But were you guys team Edward or team Jacob?
100% team anyone but Edward. No, I liked Jacob better, was my recollection anyways. But after this first book, I mean, Edward's the worst. So
I mentioned this. I feel like I mentioned this before. I was team Edward, but that's because I'm always like, I feel like the story always tells you, like even in any love triangle, I feel like you know who the main person is.
Yeah.
And so I never like end up caring about the second because I'm like, I don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't even like put any like thought into it. So like, as a character, Jacob is fine until he imprints on Renesmee.
Yeah.
But if you were telling me like what team, I would be like, well, Team Edward, because that's who is who she's obsessed with.
That's Endgame, yeah.
No, so what I remember is I was Team Edward, but I also didn't like that. I mean, Edward did some creepy stuff, but Jacob forcefully kissed Bella.
Oh, yeah, he did do that.
He crossed a lot of physical boundaries that I didn't like, and he kind of became, I mean, he was a little more violent. He would break stuff, and I guess it was supposed to be a play off of him being like a werewolf, but I don't know. They made him seem a lot more violent than Edward, which is what I didn't like. So I remember that.
I feel like Edward's pretty violent too, though. Just the way that he like grabs her and like I don't know.
he's like picking her up and stuff. And that, like the being in her room is like.
The being in her room was a lot.
Like, the emotional violence of that is so extreme to me because just the terror that would put into like waking up and someone's in your room.
Well, she mentioned that like Alice was the first one to ask her to pick her up. So like everyone just does it.
Yeah, everyone just grabs her. Yeah. No, yeah. But
She could
Team
say like
Alice.
a rag doll.
The book. Alice was also kind of like turned against her will, right? Like
hers was actually really depressing, and I don't know why we never got a story, but like that's what we got from James. Like, that she was like
he was
experimented on.
But yeah, because she is not one that Carlisle turned.
Yeah.
She like just joined up with them.
Because whoever turned her just kind of like left her.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have any really recollection of like beforehand.
Yeah.
I
was a little confused by her story.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I had to ask y'all about Team Edward or Team Jacob. I remember being Team Jacob, but honestly, I don't think I was really Team Jacob. I think I was Team Taylor Lautner because I was like, and when the movie came out, I'm around the same age as Taylor Lautner. I was like, oh my God, he's so cute. Looking back, no. But I think I was looking at him over Taylor Lautner. So, I mean, over Robert Pattinson. So.
Well, I think the thing with me was like, I did really like Cedric Diggory from Harry Potter. So I think that was the other thing with like Team Edward. But yeah, I don't know.
I've never been much for team sports. I mean, I'm not sure that I ever was on a team because I was sort of like, I mean, I read the book, but I wasn't really like invested in it. I mean, I just keep thinking about that meme I read when we were preparing to record this episode of this person who's shit posting going, if I were Bella, I would simply date the boy who was cold in the summer and the boy who was warm in the winter. That's not my answer.
Well, wait till you get to Eclipse.
I just want to say that this book series and movie series was just so like influential at the time. Like I remember when the last two movies came out, I was working at the movie theater, and so like I was so excited to see them, but also like I had to work in those like disgusting theaters and clean up all the mess. Like, and I remember everyone that worked there telling me that the theaters were just as messy as they were during the releases of the last two Harry Potter movies. So it was like that kind of craze. And back then, people didn't have reserved seating, so like people were waiting in hours online for hours to get a good
they
seat.
could sit with their
so they could sit with their friends, so they could get a good spot. We had like midnight releases. I think for the last movie? For the last movie, Breaking Dawn Part 2, we had I think all the theaters were sold out, and then so we had like 1201, 1202, 1203, like droppings of it. And so we had 24 theaters.
That's wild.
So, yeah. And so we stayed late to like clean them up because we knew that the midnight crew wasn't going to have time to like clean it. It was crazy. The soundtracks were I remember them being like, very instrumental to me, like certain songs that stand out, like the It Will Rain with Bruno Mars and 1,000 Years by Christina Perri. That one's probably going to play at my wedding. So there were some good things to come out of Twilight, maybe just not Twilight itself.
Well,
Decode with Paramore.
Decode was
right?
great. Well, I think that's what the actors took away as well. I'm diverting a little bit, but like, I mean, like Robert Pattinson would say he'd get women all the time asking him to bite them. Like all the time. So I know he would
I'm sure he loved that.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a nightmare experience for him.
Yeah, which is why he like was so over Twilight and just did so many independent films, which I think he shines in. But
Kristen Stewart too.
Yeah.
Like, I think she went heavy into the like indie movies afterwards.
I guess after that, you probably can kind of, I mean, I don't think they made like Harry Potter money, but you probably can be like, yeah, I'm going to kind of do what I want, you know.
In a funny full circle moment, then he went on to do like a movie about 9/11, right?
yes, Remember Me.
yeah.
That movie was so good,
oh my
though. It was
I
so
didn't watch
sad.
it. I just know the ending.
And then he became Batman.
And then he became
Batman.
Then Kristen Stewart became a Charlie's Angel.
All right. It's an interesting question, but does this book hold up, and would you recommend this book?
No and no. I mean, I guess on some level it holds up in that there's nothing like glaringly horrific in terms of race in it, which has been a problem in some other books that we've read. But I don't think it holds up on a feminist level. I don't think it holds up on would I ever recommend this to a teen girl?
Yeah.
Like, I might recommend it to an adult that wants to, like, understand what that moment of the cultural zeitgeist was about. I don't think I would. There's better fantasy to recommend to teens, I think, that is not so toxic.
I think this is a book that people will have heard of. If they're interested in reading it, they'll find it. You don't have to draw people's attention to this book, at least not until 50 years from now, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah, I think if any, I kind of agree with what both of y'all said. I think if anything, I'd probably just, if someone was like, "Oh, I'm so curious about Twilight," I'd probably just be like, "Just go watch the movies," just because at least it's a shorter experience. Like, and
you're not in their headspace as much.
You're not in their headspace as much. It's a shorter experience, and if the memes and stuff are what made you curious about Twilight, then you'll get the satisfaction of it. Especially because like, it's not by itself. It's not very like if anything. Just read the whole, if you plan on getting into it, read the whole series. But like, I also haven't read the rest of the books in a long time, and I probably won't revisit it. So I don't know if I could recommend that as well. So
is that stack? Which one's on top? Okay, so they get thicker as they go on.
Yeah.
Okay.
much like Stephen King, apparently the editors just stopped editing at some point.
They're like, you know what you're doing. Yeah. These people are eating it up.
If I became a popular author, I think I would go and talk to my editors and be like, I don't care how many books I sell. Please don't stop editing my writing because everyone needs a good editor.
But they had to be able to turn this into 2 movies.
Yeah.
Which was unnecessary because the second half of the movie doesn't even happen in the book.
Really?
Like spoilers, but I was just
it's been 20 years at this point.
They saw that Harry Potter did it.
Exactly. And now it's like, oh, well, we got to make the last one into 2 movies so we can stretch it out.
But definitely
twice as much money.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I also, don't really think it holds up. I don't know that I would necessarily need to recommend it. I think like everyone said, people are going to find it regardless. It is really tough because I think it really depends on like who you're talking to when you're recommending it, because I think it's fun to like read it and have discussions with other people about it, like a rewatch with someone, or maybe like even discussing a reread. Like this was fun to me. But that's with the understanding that you realize like it's really ridiculous, and a lot of plot points in it are just like what it's trying to say is kind of ridiculous. And if you come at it that way, like I think it can be a worthwhile discussion, but yeah, like I definitely wouldn't want someone to take it earnestly because it is really bad depictions of like what a relationship should be.
And it's so long for no reason. Like,
and it is very long,
Give you back some hours of your life.
So like you were saying, I feel like I would probably recommend the movies more. I would just be like, if you want to get the gist of this. And also like that is the memeable part of it. Like no one's really like bringing in the books as much. Maybe some people that are like really trying to like engage with the series a bit more, but more people are going to be talking about the movies. And that's also because I still go back and forth whether I think the first one tried to be campy, like if it was meant to be campy, or if it was just so issues. Or if it was just the budget. There's just a lot of memes surrounding the movies, and I think that would just be fun to kind of be in the know about them.
Same with me. As obsessed as I was as a teenager, like this is not something I would recommend. And honestly, I've kept a lot of my books, and I don't remember keeping the posters, but I kept a lot of this stuff, and I've kind of like been enjoying more approaching it from like an academic kind of point of view, like kind of like comparing culture at the time and comparing just like the different literature we have now, because a lot of fantasy has just become so diverse as well, and it's just honestly there's just a lot better writing out there as well, and it's just unfortunately.
I think when we have runaway blockbuster bestsellers like this, it kind of punches open like possibilities in publishing and pop culture that are interesting. Whether or not the original text is good or not. So I think that's interesting to see happening, whether or not like we want to look back in this book and go, this is wonderful, I want to go and reread this. So from a cultural text perspective, it's interesting. I do kind of wonder how much of romantasy indirectly comes from Twilight.
Too much, I think, because it's a lot of, unfortunately, and I mentioned this with the Needlework Ladies a while ago when I was still there, and a lot of it is kind of more like, I don't want to call it baby, kind of like an intro to fantasy if you've never read fantasy. Because I think when people try to get into fantasy or romantasy, a lot of them are freaked out by the language. So I call it like accessible fantasy.
A very accessible read.
It's very accessible reading, especially for someone who fantasy is not their thing.
No wonder I loved it so much.
Yeah, and I think that's how I would approach it, but I would still not recommend it for like someone who is kind of like still understanding what a relationship is or what romance is.
I will say I did appreciate the conversation around it of people being like, why do we demonize things that like teen girls really like? I liked that it started that conversation. I don't know that this was the book we should have been like, like supporting or like protecting. But I did appreciate that at least, that people were like, yeah, why do we just like dismiss something just because it's really popular amongst like girls and women?
I think that's a very fair point. And, these may not be good in a lot of sense, but a lot of the criticism around it was certainly tinged with misogyny.
Yeah.
They were also, I don't know if we should leave this in or not, much better written than 50 Shades of Grey.
Which is saying a lot.
Especially considering the audience is very
funny.
Gosh, inner goddess.
Doing the salsa or whatever, all of the little something.
I think I did read the first book and maybe saw the first movie. I was definitely working at the theater when those movies, the 50 Shades movies, came out.
They were not good.
No, now that was bad casting. Like
no chemistry whatsoever.
Yeah, zero. Like those people hated each other, and not in a way that made them have fireworks on screen.
Well, they changed the casting, right? I think they had mentioned Charlie Hunnam was Christian Grey, but then
I only saw the first one.
Yeah, no, for the first one, I think he was the original cast.
Oh, they ditched the first
did they change
guy.
It after the
yeah,
first?
I think.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No.
Like
the original
they swapped
casting
him out because it wasn't working.
No, I think it was better with Charlie Hunnam, but he decided not to do 50 Shades.
I cannot blame him once he saw the script.
Yeah, it was J.B. Dornan who he had just been a serial killer on that like British show that Gillian Anderson was in, so it was very weird to see him playing Christian Grey in the first film.
Yeah, because Charlie Hunnam was doing Sons of Anarchy, so he left it for scheduling conflicts. But he was the original person who was cast for Christian Grey.
So we are going to take a BuzzFeed quiz. I'm going to give y'all some time to pull it up, but it's called Which Twilight Character Are You? And
we should start with who we don't want to be.
Bella. Though I'm actually concerned I'm going to end up as Bella.
Who do I not want to be?
I don't even know who I want to be at this point.
I think I'd rather be Alice at this point.
Yeah.
Of main characters, yeah.
I'd like to be the truck. The truck has the most personality, I think.
I'll be the apple on the cover. And so the lion fell in love with the lamb.
Stephenie Meyer, I think, insisted that line be in the film.
It's so biblical.
There's so many cringy parts.
And it's not even about the lion doesn't fall in love with the lamb in the Bible. It lies down with it. I feel like she took that like way too literally. And
but also he like puts his hand on her chest, like in her like jacket. It's just very weird.
It doesn't work.
Don't touch me.
So many
Your face.
and it's ice cold.
Yeah,
like again, I'm just really the only time when I was watching the movie, I was like, well, when they were in the bed together, I was like, it's sort of like having one of those Chillo pillows that never gets hot. Like if you're just like on his chest, it's always cold.
Honestly, I just feel like someone who is always freezing cold, like that's a deal breaker. I'm like, no, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so who's your favorite character from Twilight? Is it stoic Edward or maybe eccentric Alice? Do you see yourself more as a human or a vampire? When you finally sit down and think about it, there are a ton of iconic characters from this beloved film franchise and book series. This is from the quiz. I didn't write this. It's finally time to get a little introspective and figure out which character from Twilight you're most like. Don't worry, we won't make you move to Forks, Washington anytime soon. Humans, vampires, werewolves, oh my.
I would just like to point out that I think is that the official Twilight font that they used for the images for the quiz?
Yeah.
I wonder what that font is. Anyhow, sorry, that's not what we're here to do, but I'm going to find out.
So, what is your stance on love? Love. Like, I don't know, plenty of room for more. kind of a loner. I would kill for love. I think I've been in love. Secretly, I love it. I have a lot of I have a lot of crushes, or I get super attached.
Like, I don't know. These are all ridiculous answers.
Love.
I think me too. Love.
Is there plenty of room for more sister wives kind of?
But also, what character is
that going to be Carlisle?
Carlisle.
I just keep making more people to love.
But only if they're dying and super hot.
I don't know. I guess I'll say I would kill for love. I would kill for my kids. Does it have to
That's
be
a
romantic
beautiful
love?
perspective. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
They don't specify
You're totally
romantic
ending up as a
love.
vampire.
Yeah.
Fine.
I choose the same one. Did
Okay.
you go, Hannah?
Yeah, I chose like I don't know.
Like, I don't know. Yeah.
What about blood? I tend to bleed a lot. I want it, but I'm cool. It's there. Like yum. Must fight urge. It doesn't bother me. I want it now. Ew, like blood? I tend to bleed a lot.
I think I need to pick that one, but I'm afraid that's going to be Bella.
Same, because she's clumsy.
It doesn't bother me.
Agree. It doesn't
Yeah,
bother
I'm going to
me.
go with that one because I don't want to be Bella.
I'm going to put it's there.
It's there.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's there.
Yeah,
'cause we need it.
hopefully.
Right?
Right?
People call you sporty, charming, a homebody, helpful, mysterious, passionate, reserved, annoying, energetic. I'm torn between a homebody and helpful. I'm going to go with helpful because I feel like a homebody is leaning into Bella too much.
I don't know what people call me.
I don't know either.
I think people call me reserved.
I'm going to go helpful as well.
And, working in the library, you got to be
I
kind of
mean,
Yeah, it's kind of a whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I get called lots of things working in the library that aren't on here.
Right. This morning, my dad is late because he asked me to go with him to the MVA. He's like, "Oh, you're just so helpful. You do such a great job with helping everybody." Because he's asking me to go with him to the MVA, and at the same time on the phone trying to figure out my brother's financial aid. And he's like, "You're so helpful." Like,
You're the oldest child.
Yeah.
mind you, I have an older sister, but it's all mostly me because she comes to me too.
Oh, really?
Every time, I'm like, "Girl, you are not old. You're 5
She's
years
an
older than
older
me."
sister. Yeah.
It's the curse of the librarian.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go with reserved. I don't know. None of these really
Passionate?
fit.
Passionate fits too.
I can see that.
I feel
Passionate for
like
what?
these are things people are going to call you when you're not there.
Yeah.
So how would you know?
I mean, if you're super annoying, somebody's going to tell you to your
Oh,
face.
that's
Yeah, that's true. But the people who are annoying will never know they're the annoying
That's
person.
true.
Is the
Yeah.
problem. So
Everybody go. What's your favorite kind of meat? Chicken, boar, beef, turkey, pork, deer, humans. I don't eat meat. I don't know. Like,
dear. God, I love venison.
I haven't really given this too much thought.
I've
Like
got
some,
some
like-
venison sausage
I
in my
had this
fridge right now.
spicy homemade venison jerky once that was so good.
It's the
That
best.
sounds good.
Yeah, my grandfather
like
used to always
pork-
put up deer for us, but
Yeah, I'm also a pork. I love pork.
I'm gonna leave
Boar's
that,
really
I'm gonna leave
good,
that
too.
swine to you
I'm
all.
gonna
I'm
put,
kidding.
I don't know because it depends.
Y'all accidentally had bacon over the weekend. I'm so mad.
Oh no!
mad that you had it accidentally.
Yeah.
Oh, was it snuck into
Or
something?
did somebody trick you?
No, I had it accidentally. Nobody tricked me, but I ordered a turkey and avocado sandwich from a place called Tout le Jour, and they had they had it in the window, and the ingredients are super super small. But I'm like, it's turkey and avocado sandwich. Do I really need to look at the ingredients? And I get halfway through the first half of my sandwich, and I bite into something, and it comes out, and I'm like. I was like, why does that tomato look like that? I'm like, oh, that's not a tomato.
I feel like they should have said
Yeah,
turkey,
should be
avocado,
pretty
and
clearly.
bacon.
Yeah,
Because
so,
a lot of people don't eat pork.
So I had thrown everything out,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm not gonna try to get a refund because I'm like, I threw out my receipt. Whatever. So I decided I'm gonna send them an email hey, this
Label
is just a
this.
suggestion. This to be labeled better because it's all the
That's
locations.
fair.
Like when you go on their
Yeah.
website and you look, it just says turkey and avocado. But
Yeah,
like
that's crazy.
And
like
it'll-
when I say the font was like super small, it's like the size of like this thing.
Yeah,
right
they're
here.
tiny.
Sorry, did everybody go?
I don't know. Oh,
I think we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If you could have one superpower, what would it be? Extreme compassion. Okay, I guess. Reading minds, magic shield, turning into an animal, manipulating emotions, seeing the future. I want it all. Wait, I need more time to choose. Nah, I'm cool.
Why is there no flying?
Right.
Because none of them can fly.
No, they just
They
like
jump.
parkour up
They
everything.
do like flying squirrel stuff though.
Yeah.
What does the magic shield consist of?
it's
Yeah.
like Bella's in like the later ones where she kind of like mentally does a shield that
So
like extends
it's not
out.
like this.
No,
Okay.
no. It's like a
Captain
barrier
America.
that comes around
well,
you.
that's lame. I want like a Captain America shield.
I want a shield in case there's ever like a tsunami, y'all. I can't swim.
I'm just thinking about reading minds, although I don't actually want to know. Like, but it's like seeing the future. Like, I
seen
don't
that Buffy
actually want to
episode.
know.
Yeah.
Didn't go well. I don't think we want to know what people are thinking.
I almost want to say, nah, I'm cool because they didn't give us any. Wasn't really interested in any of these. And extreme compassion is not to me, that's not a superpower.
I want more details about turning into an animal. Do I get to like take my clothes with me when I turn back? Or do I,
I'm more like, am I gonna turn when I'm like sleeping and I've like
do I get to choose when it
I
happens?
assume you can control
I
it.
pick the
Even though this is
animal?
clearly a Jacob
Yeah.
werewolf thing.
yeah.
But if the superpower itself is turning into an animal, then I'm going to assume there's a level of control there.
Can I like do more than one animal, or is it just one? Like, yeah.
I don't know. I'm figuring this is a shapeshifty kind of thing, and you can pick what you want. So, you want to be a deer one day and a fish the next. That's on you.
I don't want to be venison.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't pick anything
I'm
yet.
gonna go with wait. I need more time to choose.
I want to turn into an animal, I guess. I kind of like seeing the future just because I would like to know when and if we're getting out of the shit show that we're currently in on so many levels. But then also
I'm
you'd see
afraid-
a bunch of stuff
I'm
you don't
afraid
want
to
to
find
see.
out.
And with Alice's thing about seeing the future, it's just like what is like determined
subjective.
at
Well,
that
see,
time.
If it's like hers, you know what? I will go with seeing the future because like seeing the possibility that will happen barring other changes, I think is a useful.
That's true. It's not concrete.
You might be able
Yeah.
to avert it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll go with that. That's cool.
Should change mine. Now I'm gonna stick with what I got. Now I'm cool. Everybody go?
Yeah.
All right. Which one is the coolest instrument? Guitar, cello, banjo, piano, flute, drums, saxophone, fiddle, the voice. Duh.
Banjo all day.
How is the
I think
saxophone
drums are pretty
an
cool.
option?
I think we'll go guitar.
I almost went with guitar.
Why is there no violin?
Fiddle.
Oh,
Guitar.
Yes. I forgot about the fiddle. I'm gonna go fiddle.
It's a classic.
What's your favorite body part?
Like on myself or
That's a
someone
good
else?
question. Well, weird. So back, hands, hair, smile, skin, abs, feet, eyes. Weird question.
Weird
Weird
question.
question.
It is a weird question.
Well,
But
because
also,
they
are you
didn't even
asking
clarify
on-
is it us or
or just
on
somebody
another
else?
person.
Oh yeah.
Well, so from this image, you see Bella and Edward looking like they're probably about to make out in the field. So maybe on another person.
Okay.
I'll say eyes.
I think I'm gonna do eyes too.
I'm torn between smile and I also like hands. That's weird,
Yeah,
right?
because I would say arms, but it's not on here. So I'm between hands and
Skin is a weird answer.
yeah. Sparkly skin.
There you go.
Put the
I mean,
lotion
really
on your
nice skin, I guess. Like
Yeah, like flawless, like
Yeah, I mean, skin can be
like
you know,
soft skin
but, like-
versus like real like not exfoliated skin.
but to have it be your favorite body part's a little like it puts the lotion on it and gets the hose again.
I'm gonna go with hands.
I think I'll also do hands.
Thanks for not making me feel alone in that. Where would you spend your dream honeymoon? South Africa, road trip. That's not a location, but okay. Brazil, Paris, Southern Mansion, Hawaii, Italy, hunting somewhere. I don't care.
why is Southern Mansion like a location and the rest of these places are
I feel like that's a Jasper reference or something because he was a Confederate soldier.
Oh no,
That's so scary.
I'm torn because like I wanted, and like younger me probably would have said Hawaii, but like I also know that the people who were like native to Hawaii
Yeah.
don't want people visiting them there. So
That's what I was thinking
Hawaii,
too.
but I know that like tourism there is.
I mean, Parisians don't really want us either.
not at all.
also heard. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Maybe I'll go with Brazil because I'd want to be somewhere warm, but I've already been to South Africa, and Brazil maybe has some culture that would be kind of interesting to me. I don't know about Dream, but of all these places, I'd pick that one, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's also,
I feel
don't
like
care.
road tripping would be fun, but like for a honeymoon, I guess I would choose Italy.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm also doing Italy.
Yeah, none of these are really my honeymoon.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
Same.
I want different options.
I guess I'll do South Africa.
Who is South Africa connected to?
I don't know, but I would be interested to go there.
I'm gonna pick Brazil because it's the least.
See you there, friend.
Yeah, I'll say hi to Hawa in Brazil.
Finally, what is your opinion on vampires?
No, vampires.
Vampires.
Oh no, sorry. I thought it was spelled with a Y. It's just a weird font. Never mind. You said it right then.
That font is really weird. It makes it look like it says vampipes.
Yeah.
I thought that was like the Y, but I think I just like can't read.
Something about them maintaining the font reminds me of that SNL skit about Papyrus and Avatar.
Finally, what is your opinion on vampires? I want to be one. They're not all demonic. Monsters. Gross. Burdens. Powerful. More friends. Yay. Like hot ones? Wait, what? And my answer is like hot ones, but not the ones in this series.
Are they the ones on your shirt?
Yes.
I guess I'll do. They're not all demonic.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Who are you?
Yeah.
I'm Carlisle Cullen.
All right. I have to get some more hair gel.
I got Bella. Did you really?
Wait, I'm confused. I didn't get anyone.
I haven't picked my
second
final
for it
answer.
to show up for me.
Yeah, mine just like randomly popped up. I can read it. It says Bella Swan.
Oh no.
I'm Bella Swan too.
Who's that brooding in the corner? Yep, that's you, Bella Swan. You're certainly mysterious, but there's a depth there that others pick up on. Really?
Is there?
Everyone wants you, perhaps because you're so low-key and secure with yourself. She doesn't really... Okay. I mean, there are worse things in life than having a vampire and a werewolf fight over you.
like what? Let's get a list going.
It seems pretty bad, honestly.
Who'd you get, Darlene?
I got Edward.
Read the description.
It says stunning, charismatic, mysterious, cold, warm, serious, and funny. My oh my, you're quite the package. Tell me, have you become accustomed to people fainting when you enter a room? You're Edward Cullen, and you're loyal to such a degree that no being will ever hurt the ones you love.
Except when they do.
What was Carlisle's description?
Always there with a helping hand, always there with just the right thing to say. You must be Carlisle Cullen. You've been alive, in quotes, for centuries, and your intellect reflects that. No one knows more about everything than you. People are constantly asking you for help because on top of having the brain of a genius, you have a heart of gold. No, he doesn't.
He keeps it in a jar.
His cabinet of curiosities hidden back there.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, fun.
We should have done the soundtrack.
Embarrassing, but fun. Yeah.
I am curious about the soundtrack one. I feel like I'm probably going to like circle back and do that and share my answer.
Each episode, we ask whether our book passes the Bechdel test. The Bechdel test asks whether a work features two female characters who talk to each other about something that doesn't involve men or boys. So, does it pass?
I don't know that it Does she ever have a conversation with Jessica or Angela?
That's not about the boys that like her.
Yeah.
They talk about dresses, don't they?
They do. The dresses to go to the girls' choice prom.
Dance.
Yeah.
To look nice for the boys.
Does that count as passing? It's like a technical pass.
I don't want to say no.
You say you do? You don't?
I don't think it passes.
I don't think so
It
either.
does either, because I don't even think she talks to her mom about something that doesn't concern the boyfriend of her or the husband of her mom,
Yeah.
her dad, or the stuff with boys at school.
She doesn't
Yeah.
really talk to other girls or women very much.
And when she talks to Esme, it's just Esme being like, "I'm so happy Edward found you."
Yeah.
But I can't remember if there's any conversation between her and Alice.
I was just about to ask
Oh,
that.
yeah, that would be the most substantial conversation. But I feel like
don't
Edward
know.
featured significantly in that conversation.
Yeah.
Was there any...
He kind of kept her away because, at least in Midnight Sun, Alice kept wanting to talk to her, but Edward kept keeping them away from each other.
I don't think it passes if we have to look this hard.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Maybe not.
I think the only thing Alice says that is not Edward related is, "Ooh, you do smell good."
Oh, apparently Edward liked 80s music better than the 70s music.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Like when I think he said he liked 50s, then
Yeah.
60s and 70s were bad, and then 80s were good.
I remember us talking about the 50s
really
and
weird
60s
take.
were good.
Yeah.
70s was bad. But why did he like 80s more than the 70s? Like, I would have taken him for
He
liking
was
disco.
really into synth pop. He likes keys.
He's a piano player.
Exactly.
Well, that's it for this episode of These Books Made Me. Join us next time when we'll discuss a book that also features a 104-year-old man. If you think you know which book we're tackling next, follow us on Instagram. We're at These Books Made Me, and drop a comment on our Guess Our Next Read post.